Hey guys, I'm here today with Stefanie Peachey of Peachey Counselling in Burlington, and we are going to talk today about how to support your kids through this coronavirus. Stefanie, you have some great tips for us.
Yeah, it's kids are tough during this time. I know we're I think 5 weeks in at this point, and a lot of families are really struggling with how to support their kids. For the purpose of today, my tips are going to be more so kids before they become teenagers. So I'm thinking about kids that are ages like 4 to 12 sort of thing.
Like our kids.
Yes, our kids. And you know what, I realize that's where my mind goes because
Yeah.
I've got little ones at home, and I know you have a little one at home, and they're school age, and that is very prevalent for me right now personally.
Yeah.
So
And
that's
they
where my
also
mind
need a little bit, I feel like they need a little bit more than teenagers. I feel like they might go in the room and lock the door and be totally fine with that. Whereas young kids, they kind of need a lot more, I feel like right now.
For sure. I think the needs of teenagers and I'm going to say school age kids are really different right now in that, school age kids need so much from their parents. Teenagers are struggling in way different ways of the lack of social connection, which is going to be really challenging for teenagers. But school age kids, they're really looking to their parents right now for a lot of support, which is I've heard is really challenging for a lot of parents. Like that's what I'm hearing from my clients. That's the feedback I'm getting on my social media posts that parents, this is tough.
Yeah.
Really tough.
Yeah.
So I think really some of my biggest tips are simple. There's, I really focus with my adult clients as well on spending the time feeling your feelings, which sounds a little bit cheesy and a little bit cliche, but I think as parents, our instinct is to say to our kids, you are fine, everything's fine, be happy. And everything's not fine right now. I think we have to find a level of acceptance around that.
Yeah.
It's okay that everything isn't fine.
Yeah.
Right? Kids know it's not fine. They're not at school. They're not seeing their friends. My kids know when we're playing outside that we have our space bubble. And when people are walking by, quick, find your space bubble. So these are really different times for them. And we need to let them experience how they're feeling. So if they have days that they're sad, just like you and I probably have days that we're sad, right? If they have days that they really miss their friends, just like we have days that we really miss our friends, let them feel those feelings and have them talk about it, have them let it out, have them do an activity that maybe, helps them feel more connected with their friends. If it's, we can bring back the old write a letter to somebody, right? If they're little, draw a picture, send it to somebody. Connection with friends is really important. I know, actually, Rochelle, I think it was you introduced me to the Messenger for kids. And that is something that I know my kids are using a lot of right now to connect with their friends and have a quick play over it's like FaceTime basically, but just to be able to connect and say hello, which I think is fantastic.
Yeah, for sure.
Couple other things to say is in your household, and this is again what I say to adults, kids' needs really aren't always that different, but is to find a sense of routine. So parents are struggling with homeschooling right now, it's tough, and I completely relate to every parent having that struggle. Try to have a routine so your kids know what to expect. If it's after breakfast, we get to work before we have fun. Try to stick to that routine as much as they can, because routine and predictability can sometimes equal safety for kids. There's a structure, they know you're in charge, you've got everything under control. And ultimately that is every parent's goal right now, is to give their children reassurance and a sense of safety, and knowing that, well, we might have moments where everything doesn't feel fine, everything will be fine. That's the biggest message that you can keep giving your kids, to say, we as your parents, we've got you. We have got this figured out as best we can, and we're going to be okay. Really, really important.
For sure. But yeah, definitely. I like that one idea you have about being outside with the kids and you call it a space bubble. That is so cute. Sometimes still I have to go to the grocery store, and I think we should have adults know about space bubbles right now too.
Yeah, unfortunately, it seems that there's a lot of people that aren't sticking to that. If you follow me on social media, if you look at my Instagram, anything that I'm posting, I am preaching, stay home, please stay home. I work in beautiful downtown Burlington, and unfortunately, I'm still seeing so many people in the morning out at the coffee shop to get a coffee, which I get is lovely to do, and we want to support local business, but we have to decide, are things necessary, right? And we need to have space bubbles, which unfortunately a lot of people aren't following. In my experience.
Yeah, I agree. I very rarely go to a store, but there's certain things I can't order online for my dad and stuff. So I will bolt in and bolt out. And I'm so stunned by all the people just like do like it's an outing or something really exciting, and they're like space invading me. So I'm gonna have my own space bubble, but I'm gonna put a little sign on me. This is my space bubble.
This is my space and this is your space. You
Yeah,
need to stay in your space, right? Yeah, it's tough. And I think in moments like that, anytime that you can recognize how you're feeling, your kids have moments like that too.
yeah,
Right? Is they are little versions of us, except they don't always know what really good coping strategies are that you may see your kids, honestly, today my 6-year-old cried when I left. I barely leave the house anymore. I had to come to work. Obviously this isn't my home. I'm at work right now, just I do only video and telephone counseling right now, but I had to come to work. And for her, it was, now this is a new break in our routine. Mom, you're always home and we get to spend the day together, and now you're leaving. And the message to her sometimes is that the outside world is unsafe because we talk about the sickness that's out there. So, you have to constantly deal with their little minds and how they're processing it. And if you can figure out ways to support them in coping strategies, positive coping strategies, it's really beneficial.
that's awesome. Well, thank you so much for sharing. And you are open right now through this. So if somebody needs maybe just a little bit of advice, or maybe just a session for themselves to kind of get their mind straight on this. I know some people are really struggling with this. How can they
Yeah.
reach?
Definitely get in touch through the website www.peacheycounselling.ca. Peachey is with an EY and counseling is with 2 L's. Get in touch that way. We right now, we obviously sessions are usually an hour. That's standard practice in therapy. But for the time being, we're offering half-hour sessions, just so that people who need just a quick, not in-depth therapy, but just a quick, my anxiety's out of control, I'm feeling really stressed, I need some quick tools from a professional. You can book a half-hour session and get those tools. And of course, if you need the hour session, our therapists are absolutely available to book. We've got therapists in the evenings, one on Saturdays. So we'll get you the support that you need.
That's awesome. Well, thank you so much for sharing your awesome tips as always, and stay healthy, and we'll see you
Yeah.
soon.
You
Hopefully.
too.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.